Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Astral Sorcery. Today, we're going to be covering Discovery. Astral Sorcery may have started you off in the game with something like this, your journal. Now, the journal is crafted in a simple way with aquamarine and constellation paper, which I will show you how to obtain those shortly. But if you have started with one, it will also slowly walk you through the ins and outs of Astral Sorcery with your first chapter, Discovery. Now, if you want to access Discovery, hover your mouse pointer over this galaxy in the center here and use the scroll wheel to enter into it. It will then zoom in and you can drag the area as you like and click on the different items. Now, if you look here, there are actually little flowing lines, which may or may not change depending, because currently this is in a beta status, or status, excuse me. The lines, the way that they flow, is usually giving you indications as to how progression is. So therefore, since this line is flowing to the paper, and this line is flowing to this wand, this will come before these two items typically in most scenarios. Your ore here also is flowing towards the wand, so it would come before creating this wand. And then once you've created a wand, you should be able to create a luminous crafting table as you follow the line down as well. Same thing with marble and sooty marble. Now, there is some world generation in this mod, and let me show you what some of that is, because it's actually very important that you find this in your world so that you can actually progress. First and foremost, you have marble, which you may find currently in just mixed in with stone and so on, and you can actually craft marble into marble bricks, marble pillars, marble arches, chiseled marble, engraved marble, runed marble, all the marble that you ever really wanted to make. And in some cases, you might get a little confused with some other versions of other mods' marbles. Just make sure that you use the Astral Sorcery version, because it's actually going to be required for some of the structures that you will have to build in order to progress through this mod. This is not one of the structures that you have to make. I just built this little kind of observatory for the purposes of this bit by bit. But if you... if you find marble in the world, you're actually going to want to hang on to it because you're going to need a lot of it. Now, of course, there's also the sooty marble, which there is a slight recipe difference between the other ones. I mean, a regular marble you find in the world, then you can, craft it up to make bricks. You can make pillars, your arches, and so on, and they're all relatively basic for making each different one. Sooty marble actually requires an additional item of coal, which will get you 4 of them. And those can be useful in many different ways, but right now I'm just introducing you to some of the different materials. Now, something else you might find in the world is going to be down below. You're going to want to look for water, and you'll find something like this. I currently have these highlighted just so that I can find them easier and show you guys. Here's one here. This is aquamarine. Now, it typically is going to look just like sand, as you see here. It's a little bit dark because we're underwater, but I do currently have clarity in place. Let me currently place some light sources nearby, and you can see it's the same color as sand, but it has these bright blue aquamarine colors going through it. You just mine it as you would normally with any kind of mining item, and you'll obtain these here, aquamarines, from those. And you'll find them typically around rivers. Sometimes you'll find them down below in like a large basin like this if there is some sand, but it's going to be mixed in with some sand. Now, some other things you may find are going to be down much deeper, but we're going to get into those shortly. In the meantime, let's go back in here and take a look at what else we've got. We've covered marble, we've covered sooty marble, we've covered ores, and what else before that is going to be the ancient shrines. Well, the ancient shrines are a little more interesting to see. Now, I'm back up at my current observatory here, and somewhere in the world now, I kind of increased the spawn chance of these things in the world. So that's why we're seeing so many of them at this point. So you're not going to find them clustered like this very likely. But at higher Y levels, you will probably find larger ones like this. And at lower ones, you'll probably find something more similar to this here. And each of these is going to have special properties within that you are going to want to harness. Now, I have not actually advanced anywhere with this playthrough that I have here. I have actually already progressed quite far with a different playthrough and have done this on a stream already to demonstrate to some people when this was first coming out. But if you mine underneath some of these pillars and on the smaller one, you may find something like a chest here. You'll want to open that up, and inside you may find random items. You might find aquamarines, different ingots, ores, and stuff like that, but you may also find constellation papers. Now, depending on your progress with this, you may or may not have something on these papers. Currently, I'm going to leave those ones there, and I'm going to progress on to one of the larger shrines here. There we go, and I'm just going to fly over here. The larger shrines have an actual chamber down below, and you're going to want to probably kind of dig your way into that rather slowly. Here we go. Oh, there we go. I kind of broke a little bit of the blocks. Don't worry about that. And you may find something like this, a floating crystal. And of course, it is displayed in your discovery chapter under ancient shrines, and it actually has, if you click on these, it has much of the information that you'll want to learn. You can page forward and backward. It gives you little hints about what you should or shouldn't do as your next step, but these will also probably have chests in them as well. So inside you may find, like I said here, iron ingots, and then if you cross over to this side, we've got more of the constellation papers, some aquamarines, some diamonds, gold. It's all really good stuff. Now, if you read your journal, it currently says it might be a good idea to place a crafting table nearby to one of these floating crystals. Now, of course, if I get a crafting table, let me just grab one here. There we go. I have spawned one in. I place it down. It doesn't have to be in this exact spot. It just needs to be somewhere nearby. You'll notice that there is now a ray of light coming down from this floating crystal, which is pretty interesting. And with that, it will allow you to actually progress further, which, solving this one, you may be able to get to the resonating wand. Now, a resonating wand, if you click on there, is actually made simply with some marble, a couple aquamarine, and an ender pearl, which I actually just obtained 2 aquamarine here. So allow me to grab a little bit of an ender pearl and some marble here. There we go, and you craft these in here while that is shining on it, and you should get a resonating wand, which I already have one in my inventory, but there we go, now I have 2. And this has special properties as well. Allow me to actually leave this area here. There we go. I am now outside, and you'll notice that it's just cold and very bright, not much going on. Well, most of the things in this mod actually happens at nighttime. Now, if I have this equipped, this rod here, the resonating wand, you'll notice some kind of like smoky effects, starry effects coming from the ground in some places. There's a little bit over there, there's some over here, some over there. They're all over the place. Well, what could these be? Now, these, my friends, are going to have special abilities way down below. They are actually kind of like a marker, a divining rod of sorts, that will show you where some stuff is way down below. And for that, I've actually lined this up so that I can show you guys where this is. Now, I've set this up down in a very far place. Let me open up this. There we go. And we're all the way down by bedrock, and here we go. This is where I found this one. There was some, glowy bits up above. This one obviously has some stuff above it, so it's not going to shine like it was down below. But you now have rock crystal ore, which is another one of the items that may also, spawn into the world. You're going to want to get yourself a pick of some sort and mine it up. And once you mine that up, you should get some of these rock crystals. Now, as I showed you just there, I mined it twice. The reason is it's going to require a little bit more than just a standard iron pick. You're going to want to use a diamond pick, or at least something that can mine diamond pick level. And you'll get these rock crystals, which can be used for multiple different things. Now, if you're wandering around and you've got a bunch of these constellation papers, and you have no place to put them, if you shift right-click with your journal, it will open up a storage area for your constellation papers, and you can put all of these in there. Now, if you start coming across constellation papers that say that they are blank or empty, no need to actually gather those for now, as you will probably just be taking those that other people, perhaps if you're on a server, may need access to. If you are currently just playing a solo player world, hey, go right ahead. Take those papers. Feel free to just fill up your journal as much as you want. Shift click, take it out, put it in as you need to, and you should be able to find some information on these. Now, you'll notice that I have Decidia, Visio, and Aevitas. It's very interesting, actually. Each of these, you'll only find about like maybe 4 different kinds, depending on time of day and if you've already progressed in the mod or not, or if you are able to, find enough of those laying around. Now, let's see if I can find one more. There's a chest here. This one here has nothing on it, but that's all right. I'm going to take it, and we're going to put it in here. And there we go, Armara. Now, I currently have discovered these in a previous playthrough, but they are basically constellation maps of the different stars in the sky. It's really cool once you've unlocked some of those. But that is the reason for these. You can keep collecting them, but usually your first 4 are all that you're really going to need. But that's to progress a little bit later on. For now, you just want to hang on to those in your journal, and you should be good to go. Now, if you open this back up, you have made a resonating wand, and it tells you how to make it. Maybe there's something deep underground, which is how you're able to obtain those rock crystals. Now, in order to, which are here, the ores, which it says, you can obtain some of these in multiple ways, which we'll get to in the future. But next, you're going to want to make the luminous crafting table. This is going to be very key in starting strong advancement in the way through Astral Sorcery, which it's very simple to make. Just some marble, a piece of sooty marble, which I showed you earlier requires a piece of coal in the middle of 4 marble, and a crafting table, plus you will need some light shining at it. So therefore, you're not going to be able to just craft it out in the world. You're going to want to craft it in one of those underground rooms that are underneath one of these areas here. So allow me to just jump down. Oops. Or not, as the case may be. And you're going to want to get yourself that crafting table. There we go, and put that down. Now, I'm just putting it in the middle because, like I said, it just works there. 6 marble, sooty marble, and that should do it. So we're going to want marble, sooty marble, and we should be good to go. Now, I'm going to need another crafting table. Look at that. Let's get a second one. Put that in the center, sooty marble, marble on both sides, and there you go. Luminous crafting table. You take that, and it says here, your vision expands. You learned more about exploration. What that means is if you scroll back out into your book, you'll notice that there is now another galaxy has shown up in your universe map. You now have discovery and exploration. Well, what does, per se, let me scroll back into Discovery here, your Luminous Crafting Table do? This is going to be the key for you to actually progress in the mod. I think I've already said that, so I apologize. But basically, let's change it back to nighttime again. Now, if you place this thing down in the world, and you look at it, you'll notice this little meter at the bottom, and it's filled up about a quarter of the way, maybe a little bit less, and then it's got a crafting grid. This is going to be so that you can advance things that require starlight. If you noticed in the journal, when I was hovering over this, on the top right, it has needs light shining at it when crafting, and that is going to be rated in different levels. Now, this is a tier 1. Actually, the one down there is kind of like a tier 0, where you've just got a crafting table underneath that crystal. This one here is a tier 1. And in order for this to actually obtain more, which this is starlight, you're going to need to do one of 2 things. One being move it to an area that's going to have more starlight, or 2, move it higher in the world. Now you notice I'm at Y level 248 right now. So the higher I go, the more starlight I'm going to have. Now, I just so happen to know that there's actually an area that's nearby here that will actually give me a whole lot of starlight. So if I click here, boom, you see here it just totally went up to the top. And if you place it around in different random areas, you may notice different levels that are going to have a lot or a little, or you said that one was a bit slower. And as you place it, you'll notice sometimes it might not even get all the way up there, or it might get just like part way. Yeah, I'm actually still pretty close to it. So, but you get the idea. This is so that you can make certain items that require a certain level of starlight, which is very important because that's going to be important in all of the crafting table recipes. Because if I type in here Astral Sorcery, well, I'll just type in Astral, and you'll see here we've got the Luminous crafting table, the Starlight crafting altar, and the Celestial altar. Each of these are different levels of crafting options, and each one will amplify the amount of starlight that you can gain on different levels. So you're going to want to keep that in mind when crafting with one of these, that is what you're going to do. Now, I have not given up on this just yet. This is only about discovery in this episode. But tomorrow, or for those that are watching this a little bit later on, we'll be getting into exploration and covering a little bit more of the interesting items and things in that area here, which it's going to expand quite a bit more. But this is just so that you can get into, and I don't have to give you too many spoilers about Astral Sorcery, and get you some of the basics on how to get going, some of the tools, and some of their functionalities for it early on, which I still think the second chapter exploration is going to just have a whole bunch of functionality information that you're going to want to look into as well. But hey, for now, we're going to stop here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to give a like, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to spread the mischief to others. And till next time, folks, I'll see ya.